Recording in progress.
Good evening. This is the August 24 uh, Chicago Computer Society South Suburban Computer Club meeting. I'm going to open up the floor to questions or comments, suggestions, tips, whatever. Well, if everybody speaks up at once, we're not going to get too far. Nobody's got anything to say, huh? Okay, you had your chance.
If we are at a total loss for topics, I would just like to remind everyone there is a reason to apply your automatic updates or your Windows updates for all versions of Windows now. There is an in the wild attack involving IPv6, and you have several options. You can either not use IPv6 and turn it off, including at your router and your modem, or you can apply all the updates, or there are other fixes which I will not go into because they are technical.
Okay. Anybody got anything else?
Now, these have to be done on the router, not the PC.
It's an either or. There are three options, but if you're doing IPv6, you have to do each device that connects. Make sure it's not trying to do IPv6, and you would be wise to do the router as well. So if you know how to get into your router, great. Otherwise, learn how.
How do I check on my computer?
I Windows has a setting for networking, and I think Tim knows how it works. We'll do the Windows 10 version, perhaps. How would you find whether or not you have IPv6, and where do you go to uncheck it so it won't fire up?
Well, that opens up a little can of worms. Okay. Hang loose here. I gotta switch computers. All right. Now, let's see if I can get anything that I want to work. Usually, no. Yeah. And now, oops. Okay, this is 10. You go into network and internet, and it's basically the same thing on 11 at this point. Now, this is a real slow computer, and I'm taxing it with recording and Zoom and a browser. Yeah, you stopped. Okay. It's not going to let me do it on this 10 because it's already taxed out pretty good. Hang loose for a minute. All right. Now, 4.
Worst comes to worst, I can show it on mine, which is 11.
Well, I have lots of 11. I mean, I got more 11 than you got. Not a joke. And
That's what my laptop here is, Windows 11.
Okay, but it's pretty similar.
and you go to networking. Usually, you either have Wi-Fi only, Ethernet only, or both. And this particular system has both capable. But what I'm looking for, advanced network settings, which is different on 10, uh, and advanced, wait a minute, not hardware connection properties, I think is where I'm going. No, sorry. I,
Yeah, you did data usage.
this, I think I've got,
Is it network settings?
I'm in network internet, stuff, but it's,
Yeah. But there is a section that leads to network settings.
well, there's, adapter devices. That's what I usually use.
Ah, adapter devices. So it's network adapters where you're at now.
Here we are. Now I'm in, network and internet, advanced networking. I went to my Ethernet connection and I said, edit more adapter options. And then in here, this line here is, for IPv4, uh, and it's checked. Now, there's another one in here, IPv6. And I used to, bother, turning it off, but I haven't for a long time. But I'm up to date on my patches anyhow. But all you'd have to do is, uncheck that. I also always uncheck client for, networks. Since you're not going to be attaching this computer to a domain server, you don't need it. So, that comes off too. And you just click OK. That's it, done. And I can close out, well, when this stupid thing gets out of my way. Uh, okay. So it's very similar, but, there's one specific line in 10 that will tell you that it's, the, adapters. And adapters, is the same screen you just, saw, that's, real small. And, that allows you to, put in, cases where you need to, static addresses for a computer. For computers, that's rare unless you have a NAS or server, or on printers that are not USB cable connected, whether they're, Ethernet connected or, connected by Wi-Fi. You have to go into the printer network, settings, and, it's advisable to put in a static address. Why? Think of, your house. Do you want your mail delivered or not? Your house has a static address that the post office knows where the house is on that given street, in that given city, in that given state. And, if, it were not static but dynamic, like you normally get addresses for your average, computers, be it a smartphone, tablet, laptop, desktop of any size, it doesn't matter. Most use DHCP, Dynamic Host, uh, Computer, Protocol. And it issues the IP address that will be used by that device. But they go on a lease basis. And after half life, which is around 2.5 days, the, DHCP starts trying to find out, is this device still active or not? And it will try and renew it up to the, lease expiration time frame. At which time, the next time you power up your computer, it may not have the same IP address that it did the last time you booted it up. And for NASs, servers, and printers that are connected to the network by Wi-Fi or Ethernet, you need static addresses that absolutely never change, just like your house address. So bottom line, if you want to get your mail, or if for some reason you don't want any of your mail, keep changing your house number every couple days. That way,
I
they
don't
won't know where to deliver your mail.
Or keep changing your route carrier every few weeks. That's what happens with me.
Okay.
They they can't find my apartment because it's on the backside of the building from the road.
Hey, I've had because I'm without wheels at the moment to have stuff delivered to the house, and I live right next to the state line with Illinois. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, some of these businesses have people that live in Indiana where I do, and some come from Illinois, and my street address is Torrance Avenue. So they're going into Cal City, Lansing area, south side of Chicago, looking for this address on Torrance in Illinois instead of the about 10 blocks or so that exist in Hammond, Indiana, where I live.
Yeah. Well, the point is, if your house were moving around, if it actually were moving around, that would be analogous to this
Yeah.
DHCP.
And if I knew I was going to get somebody delivering that only knows Illinois, I could have picked up my house, moved it to Illinois on Torrance Avenue, and gotten my order.
Yeah, but you might not have wanted to live on some areas of the Torrance Avenue in Illinois.
Yeah, you will. I mean, the Ford plant, assembly plants
Yeah.
there on
Yeah.
Torrance.
It used to be.
No, it still is.
It's still
Oh,
operating? Okay.
The only thing they
I,
did was they rebuilt 130th and Torrance. It's now a deep viaduct area, and the Norfolk and Southern Railroad that went across 130th Street is now elevated as a result. And so you don't get all the trains. But uh, the street that went straight into Hegwish, other than 130th Street that skirts the south side, you can't get to that street directly anymore. You got to go 130th into the Hegwish area, then you can get over to that street and continue on.
oh, we got lots of things like that in the Boston area. You can't get there from here.
So it's one of those things. What do you want?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like routing with various packets. They don't make it to their destination. I
Well,
hope you get your wheels back soon, Tim.
actually, sometimes it's not a case of them not getting there. They get there, but they had to be rerouted, and they're out of sequence.
Hmm.
And but it knows how to put the packets in sequence.
Yeah, lots of error corrections available, which aren't available to your delivery drivers.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try and see if we can get the main presentation going.
Okay.
And let's see what we get here. It's gonna drive me nuts, I know, but that's normal. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is CCS. I've been a supporter of the TFS, Tech for Seniors Zoom meetings that occur on Monday on Central Time. Meetup starts at 10:30 a.m. on Monday morning for a half hour, then a 1 hour presentation followed by up to 20 minutes of Q&A. And they had a lot on streaming. So this is one clip from a meeting in mid-April that I'm going to play now, or I'm going to try to. Come on.
it says your browser can't play the video.
Well, that'll be a first.
It
Oh, wait a minute. It's looking for, oh, on network connections. Hang loose.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
why I
have a
can't
network connection.
do it. There's
Oh, you unchecked IPv6 on that machine, didn't you?
Yeah, but I really only support uh, IPv4. It's trying, I know that, but I still got an issue.
What if you click on that, it says where it says learn more?
No, I don't need to.
It'll just tell you you don't have an internet connection.
Well, I don't have adequate. See, I'm on I usually leave mine public, and what I want, I ain't gonna get. Come on. Oh, you're gonna really frost me today. I can see that right now. Advanced settings. I got to do this its way. Otherwise, you ain't getting what you want. Oops, I think I hit the wrong one. Uh, got the wrong one again. There it is. Mm, maybe I finally got a use for IPv6 that I didn't have before. Because, like I say, normally I leave it off. Have no, my gear doesn't go up to past Ethernet 5. So let's see what this does. No, this is a different problem. And this is Chromium. And it doesn't list Chromium even though it lists Chrome. No kidding, my browser's up to date. Wowee. I don't believe this. This is ridiculous. You son of a gun. You're going to drive me up a wall. It's partially working, but not enough to make it really run. I have never had this happen before on Chromium.
One suggestion is it needs a codec.
It's a possibility, but
Yeah.
I've never had to load in extra codexes for Chromium.
They've been changing how YouTube operates.
This might be the cause.
All it's asking for is H.264.
Okay, so I got one other area that might be the, no, that's not, shouldn't be the problem. Okay. So why won't you work?
The other suggestion was Firefox or Edge.
Pardon?
The other suggestion was use Firefox or Edge.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't want to have to set all this up again.
No.
All right. I give up.
You can copy the link.
Yeah.
No, I got a different way of doing that.
Or export import.
Don't tell me I haven't got it. Well, if it ain't one thing, it's got to be another. That part I don't need. And here, into the toolbar. And chew out of my hair. Okay. Oh, nuts. It ain't sharing sound. Stop.
I believe that's a Zoom setting.
Yeah, it is. Come on. Usually it's set for me, but today don't want to work.
There we go.
Okay.
Progress.
No. Told you.
Nope, not yet.
Don't have the sound now.
Well, if it's sharing sound, then your sound didn't connect with Zoom.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's usually set.
And occasionally talk about
There we
history.
go.
Today we're going to talk about why cable companies exist. Now, this is a follow-up on a video that I made last week on how to save a lot of money on your cable internet service. But I wanted just to talk a little bit about the history of cable companies through my eyes as I remember this growing up, so I can relate to specific years and events. We'd sure appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to the channel. Everyone at Tech for Senior is a volunteer, and we'd sure appreciate that like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Let's get on with a bit of history. Now, those of you who are over the age of 70 are going to smile about my story. You'll understand what I'm saying. Those of you who are under the age of 50, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. It'll be a bit of a history lesson. And if you're from across the pond, if you're over in another country other than Canada, the United States, you'll say what you always do is, well, I do things a bit different in the Americas. All right, let's go back to the year. The year is 1960. Well, we're actually going to go back a little farther than that because I was born in Edmonton, Alberta in 1952. And in 1957, my parents bought this house that you see on the screen, and that's where I was raised. Now, in 1960, they purchased, get a load of this, they purchased an Electra Home television. An Electra Home. Remember the big models, the great big, it came in a cabinet, and it had a big CRT screen in it, and that was a color television. Now, as a young boy, I remember we had the first color television on our street. So Friday evenings, my parents would often have people over, and they would all be sitting in the front room, all squealing, oohing, and awing about the color picture. Now, as I remember this as a little guy, I remember that being sort of odd because the faces were yellow, green, or red, and my father was constantly getting up to adjust the rabbit ears on the TV. And as someone else came in and sat down and Mom got a chair for them, then again he had to adjust those rabbit ears. And the faces were all weird colors. I always thought black and white was better, so I'd go down to our family room downstairs and just watch things in black and white. But there'd be squealing and oohing and awing of all this brand new color TV, which was first in on our street. Well, it wasn't too long, probably a couple of years later in the early 60s, where big announcement came and we were getting Cablevision. And this was a big announcement. And then, of course, the red, green, and yellow faces all went away, and we had normal color, and everyone was happy with color TV. Now, in 1969, I was 17 years old, and I had just graduated from high school. I decided to go over to Europe and backpack around. Remember the $3 a day thing you could do? Well, I flew over from Edmonton to London with Wardair Airlines, a big charter firm that was came in Canada with Max Ward, and it was $300 return. So I went over and backpacked around Europe for a month, and I was absolutely shocked what I saw. First of all, the cars were so old. Oh my gosh, that was weird. Back in Canada, the United States, we had big things were happening. There was economic might. We had new cars coming. We had big freeways being developed. Lots of exciting things happening. But man, it was just weird with those old cars, and also those tiny little roads that people drove these old cars down. I thought people seemed happy, and I sort of had a good time, but it was a bit weird. And then most people didn't have television. They had, of course, few people had black and white TVs, and of course they were all on the rabbit ears. But most people didn't have television. So I was really happy when I got back from Europe and I got back to color television, Elvis Presley, and big cars and big roads and lots of fun things that we could do. I thought it was a bit weird. Anyway, that's how it was back in 1969. What's important to understand is that the recovery of post-war Europe took another 15 years longer than the United States recovery. Now, remember, when the war was over and all the servicemen come back into the United States and Canada, the factories were at top production. The economy was moving, and of course, those people had jobs and got things moving. And so life was pretty exciting times in the 60s in Canada and the United States, but not so much in Europe, as the recovery still hadn't been completed and wouldn't happen for another, about 10 years. Why is this important? Well, remember I talked about cable. Remember I talked about getting cable. Well, everybody in Canada, United States, they laid millions of miles of cable, millions, maybe billion, I don't know. It was a lot of cable that everybody had cable. Even small little towns had cable companies. Everybody had cable TV because you could get color TV. It was amazing how much cable, the coaxial cable that they laid. And even small towns would have like Bob the Barber would have a Bob the Barber and a cable company. He'd maybe call it Bob's Barber and Cable Company, and he'd get a few people together and string some cable, and then they would cable a bunch of houses. And we've all cabled things in our homes, and we know that coaxial cable is easy to split and connect, and so it wasn't really that difficult. And so what we had is a huge network of cable companies, small cable companies, but lots of them all across both countries. Now, this, of course, did not happen in Europe. There were no cable companies. This period of time was different, and so it was a bit unique in what we were seeing. So something happened in 1980 that would change the world as we know it. Let me think. What was that? I'll give you a second to think about that. Of course, it was the internet. The internet was created, and you remember those squeaky little dial-up modems that we had? I'm sure all the old people remember that. Those
Yeah.
squeaky little dial-up modems that allowed us to connect to bulletin boards and some things that, because the internet really didn't do very much back when it first came online. But then quickly, we knew that it was going to be successful. So these telephone modems that we're using wasn't really going to work. And so the cable companies figured out that you could actually transmit a internet signal, a digital signal, down a coaxial cable. And this was pretty cool. This was big stuff. And of course, the rest is history, as you know. And so what happened I'll talk about Canada. First of all, in Western Canada, a company by the name of Shaw Cable from Edmonton started to purchase and buy up smaller cable companies and move west towards British Columbia and east towards Winnipeg. And they bought up all the cable companies, those small cable companies that were providing cable television because people wanted the internet, and that was a more complicated system and required fiber optic lines to be the main trunk lines to transmit all this data. And this, of course, happened in the United States as well with Cox Cable and Comcast. All these companies were formed who would be able to have the technology to bring internet to you as a high-speed cable service. But to do that was much more complicated. So old Bob, with his barber and cable service, just didn't work out very well because he didn't really understand all that technology. And so everyone was excited as this all grew, and that's how cable companies started to provide internet services. I remember on Vancouver Island here, our Comox Valley here quickly converted. They sold out right away to Shaw, and we were able to get fairly quickly high-speed internet into our homes, and that was a really exciting time. I remember up on the northern part of the island, a friend of mine was a liquor store manager, and he had the cable services on the northern end of the island. He was quickly bought out. He bought a big yacht and a mansion down island, and I haven't seen him since. The cable company, Shaw in particular, bought out there was nobody left. They bought out everybody and ran the large fiber optic lines down that were able to provide high-speed cable internet service to your homes. So I want you to remember that if you have cable TV in your home, what you really have is fiber optic lines, transmission lines to the telephone pole, and that last section is cable. Now, if you have fiber optic to your home through a fiber optic company, then transmission line is fiber optic, but there is a fiber optic line that goes from your pole to your home. So it's that just that the cable part is just that part from the telephone pole into your house. So why is this important? Why am I talking about this? Well, if you remember back to my trip in that period when I went to Europe, the very first time there was no cable. Well, while they were cabling in Canada, the United States, in that whole post-war boom, that never happened anywhere else in the world. So by the time 1980 came along and we have internet and the cable companies in Canada, the United States figured out that they could transmit high-speed data to you in your home, Europe had already passed that and had other options for them. And so they never went to the cabling. And so cabling and the idea of a cable company providing internet is really only a Canada and US idea. If you travel to so I've traveled to Southeast Asia many times, Australia a lot of times because my daughter lives there, and I used to work at Schiphol Airport in Holland. I can tell you that these countries, if you talk about cable television, by and large, they don't have that. They've never heard of it. It's just something that occurred in the Americas. So when you're looking at cutting the cord, you're thinking, well, how am I going to do this? What's happening with these cable company? I'm going to cut the cord. It's perfectly normal. The rest of the world doesn't have cable, and they have very fast, some of the most advanced and well-developed internet services are in Southeast Asia, India, and of course China. And this is why when I talked last week about saving money is the conversion to 5G, which will happen, is that is what is going to replace the old cable companies. So that's a little bit of history about cable services and how they came to be. I thought it might be something you might be interested in. So anyway, be sure and watch that other video I made last week. I'll put the link up above. Now I'd like to draw your attention to an article that was published this week from the FCC. Let me read it. This week, FCC Chairman Jessica Rosenworcel announced a new plan to bring 5G coverage to more than 14 million American homes and businesses in rural America. This plan comes from new data acquired in its updated broadband coverage map with the hope of bringing 5G internet to Americans who need it. For the first time in our history of supporting wireless networks through a universal service system, this agency has comprehensive data about where service is and not all across the country, said Chairman Rosenworcel. This will be the foundation of our plan to expand the 5G service in rural America to where it is needed most, where people live, work, and travel. So in summary, why do we have cable companies? Well, cable companies provided a valuable resource for us in the 50s and 60s to allow cable vision to our homes so we could watch television. As the internet developed in the 80s, they provided high-speed internet to our homes so we wouldn't have to use those old squeaky modems. However, technology has moved ahead, and this coaxial cable, which is the only thing connecting you from your telephone pole to your house, is the limiting factor now in getting high-speed internet into your home. With 5G technology providing high-speed internet now to your home, I think the time has come to say goodbye to the old coaxial cable. As I said in my video last week, as we switch and cut the cord on our cable services, look for 5G technology from the big three. You're going to find some good competition and probably a lot cheaper prices if you look. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior. Hopefully you've had a lot of fun listening to me ramble on about cable companies. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Bye now.
Okay, now that was kind of like an intro piece. The next is a video that I want to bring up and see if I can shoot myself in the head on this. All right, I got that one out of the way. What did I do? Duplicate that?
Just one, just one little comment on the 5G that he mentioned. That is not going to be wired. In many cases, it will be wireless. We already have that in my community.
Hmm.
Little neighborhood antennas, both for the cell phone access, because 5G high band does not travel very far and it tends to reflect and bounce. So you may need special receivers, and there are special little antennas that are going up in every neighborhood, and there's resistance to that.
Yeah.
Shot myself in the foot. Okay. I like doing that. Feels good to know that I've still got feet. But unfortunately, I screwed up. I'll have to fish for something here. Basically, what I got next is almost the entire meeting in a June meeting, and there's at least 6 parts on streaming, and I've got additional stuff beyond that. Get something here going, and boy, they're gonna make this rough on me. I can see that now. Do it the other way. At least I know what one I'm specifically looking for. That's about the only thing good I can say about it. Hang on a minute, it's coming up. And let's see. There. And, no, you already started. I want you to start yet. Come on. Sometimes this Zoom can be a rough pain in the posterior, to say the least.
This time it was always difficult to find TV content that we wanted, so I got a satellite system and I kept rearranging this on the top of our RV, and as we traveled around, we were able to get Canadian content. Well, we then bought a home in Arizona, and we're home in Arizona where we lived 6 months of the year and came back to Comox, British Columbia to live in our house for the other 6 months. That presented some challenges for TV watching, and we used a combination of satellite TV, which I was busy running around on roofs connecting to different satellites so that we could get Canadian, mostly news content, as we lived either 6 months south or 6 months in our home. Our internet package at home this was long before Tech for Senior, so we had a bare minimum package, and of course the typical cable TV channels that I'm sure everybody has had in the past. So we're sort of your average retired people who still watch cable TV. So a lot changed in the last 5 years. The big change, of course, was Tech for Senior, and my internet requirements certainly required a lot more power. So to try and keep up with Huey and his 1 gigabit fiber connection, I continually upgraded my cable services to continue to get higher speeds to allow me to do my work more quickly. Now, about 3 years ago, our internet service provider, Shaw Communications, was able to finally provide 1 gigabit of service download. This was sort of cool, and I signed up right away. In fact, they had a package, and it was a lot like Comcast's Infinity service. In fact, I think Shaw buys all their hardware from Comcast. It's exactly the same as Comcast's Infinity service. I decided that, hey, what the heck? I'll buy that service. It was bundled with the 1 gigabit service, and about 3 years ago, I signed the contract for 2 years, and they came and installed the service in all my 5 TCL TCs in the house, which I've talked about before. This was a great service. I really liked it, and now I had 1 gigabit download, not quite as fast as Huey, but getting close. After about 3 or 4 months of the service, something happened. And I said to Gail one day, I said, this is a lot of money, $245 a month. How much? I said, I'm not watching much cable TV anymore. Oh, she says, I haven't watched cable TV for a couple of years. I said, really? And when we reassessed what we were doing, is we weren't watching any cable services whatsoever. I thought, why did I just buy this? So currently we have Netflix and Amazon Prime. Most of the streaming we're doing now is on the Prime series that we're watching, but sometimes we go back and forth. Gail also has BritBox, and we watch Paramount Plus. So we have 2 extra streaming services. And of course, I spend most of my time on YouTube. Now, not YouTube TV. Remember, YouTube TV is only available in the United States. And I'm not sure I would buy it. I think it's a great service, but most of the things I can find, including all the national news services now, are all publishing their main news broadcasts on YouTube. Yeah, every day I get it, and no commercials. So it's great. So our life has changed a lot. And as you know, I recently switched to TELUS Fiber. Great service, like it. I was not going to get any television package at all, but it came with my service plan that they gave me this huge discount on, and they actually signed me up for, I got 5 priority channels, really great channels. I can't even remember which ones I selected because we haven't watched any. In fact, we haven't even watched any television off their service. So we pretty much have eliminated any, as what you might call cable TV or cable services, traditional TV services you'd find. So it just happened, and we didn't really know what happened over the last 3 or 4 years. So that's our story, and we're happy with it. I don't ever anticipate going back any other way. All right, so that's my story. And to help you find what streaming services and what shows are there, Huey's going to tell you about how he goes about this.
This is an update from something I did a couple of years ago. And
Suppose TV. I'm Huey Poplock. Suppose TV is a service that helps you compare streaming TV options. You can input your favorite TV channels, and it searches through billions of combinations of cable, satellite, and streaming TV services to find the best fit for you. Whether you're considering streaming providers or traditional pay TV operators, Suppose TV helps you make informed decisions by comparing pricing, channel selection, and other features. It's a handy tool for cord cutters looking to optimize their TV service choices. One of the first things we're going to have to do is to change the area in which we're located. This doesn't make a big difference except for the local channels. So even if you're in Canada where the choices of cities isn't available, you can still choose most of the streaming services by using this service. You just aren't going to be able to get YouTube TV. You need to gather everyone in your household and make a list of the must-haves and the wants of channels and network. Then you want to prioritize them. The first thing we want to do is change our area or the TV market we're in, area code, and it's now the Tampa Bay area. The next we need to do is choose and prioritize what we want. You need to gather everyone in the household together and decide the must-haves and the wants and prioritize them. Let's take a look at what we might do. It shows more. So these are all the local stations, and the one we absolutely want to have is the Sarasota station just south of us. So that's one that we want to have in the priority. Let's say we also want to have, and we're going to come under entertainment now. One we want is MeTV. Is one of the people in the household want that, and somebody also wants Reels, the National Geographic. So now we have 4 choices here. We want definitely mark this as a must-have, the MeTV as a must-have, and Reels as a must-have. The National Geographic is a want. Each one, as we look across here, is available in the services that are there. Now, the other things we want to check is what devices we have. Well, we have a Fire TV in the living room, and we have a Roku TV in the bedroom. So that makes some changes here. Then you want to get more or save more. We'll just leave it right in the center. But how many simultaneous streams do you want to have? Well, we could have 2. And the reason we have to choose that is not all of the services will allow you unlimited. So if you want to have the same service on both the living room and the bedroom TV, you might not be able to do that with some services. So you want to make sure that you put in here that you want 2. I want a DVR, a digital video recorder. So that's required. We've made our choices. Any provider will just leave that alone for now. Now we can see that there are some choices here and combination of choices because not everything is available on any one service. And you'll notice here we only have 2 pages that we can choose from, and it shows us how much it's going to cost us. So this particular one is YouTube TV plus Philo, has Reels. We're going to leave any provider alone, and we're going to have a Fire TV and a Roku. So let's now see what we can do. Reels is available on all of these. If we go over here, that's the streaming. So that's a choice that we could make. And that is a little bit more expensive than this combination. And let's come back here to the first page. And the cheapest we can go is $98.38, but I don't want DirecTV, so this would be the choice I probably would choose, would be YouTube and the Philo. Down on the bottom, it gives you some ideas of some of the offers that are available, how many channels are available, and what those channels are. So if we're going to choose this, we can look to see there's some free trials. It's available on the Roku, the Apple TV, and the Roku Express. If we choose it, it's $103.99 a month. That's how you use Suppose.tv. I'm Huey Poplock.
I think that's a great service, Huey. I really think if you're looking for streaming services, you really need to use that.
Yeah, and the one thing I didn't show on the prioritize, you can have a real long list and you can rearrange them right in that list. So you can change the priorities.
Yeah, that's really good. Excellent. All right. Thank you, Huey, for doing that. That's great. And next we're going to have, of course, Bob is going to talk about YouTube TV, a great service, only available in the United States, but a very, very good service. It replaces really your cable services with streaming services. So let's see what he has to say.
Cutting the cord and switching to streaming TV can be daunting, with a multitude of options available. YouTube TV is a popular choice, but is it the right one for you? Let's dive into the advantages and disadvantages to help you decide. Advantages of YouTube TV. Extensive channel lineup. YouTube TV boasts a broad range of channels, including local networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, popular cable channels, ESPN, CNN, HGTV, and sports networks. This makes it a great option for diverse viewing preferences. Unlimited cloud DVR storage. Record as many shows as you want without worrying about storage limits. Plus, your recordings are accessible from any device with internet access. Multiple streams. Watch on up to 3 devices simultaneously, making it ideal for households with multiple viewers. User-friendly interface. YouTube TV's interface is intuitive and easy to navigate, making it a breeze to find your favorite shows and manage recordings. No hidden fees. The monthly price is transparent, with no extra charges for DVR or multiple streams. Is YouTube TV a good or bad choice for you? Good choice if you want a comprehensive channel lineup, including local networks and sports channels. You value unlimited DVR storage and the flexibility to watch on multiple devices. You prefer a simple and user-friendly interface. Bad choice if you're looking for the absolute cheapest streaming option. You don't watch much live TV and primarily stream on-demand content. You're outside the US, as YouTube TV is geographically restricted. Additional consideration: sports fans. YouTube TV is a great option for sports enthusiasts, offering ESPN regional sports networks. Availability varies, and the option to add sports-focused add-ons like NFL Red Zone. Families with multiple streams and unlimited DVR, YouTube TV caters well to families with diverse viewing habits. Cord cutters. If you're used to cable TV, YouTube TV's interface and channel lineup will feel familiar, easing the transition to streaming. Conclusion. However, it may not be the most budget-friendly option, and its geographic restrictions may limit its appeal for international users. Ultimately, the best streaming service for you depends on your individual needs and preferences. Stay safe, stay secure, and in my opinion, YouTube TV is a compelling choice for those seeking a comprehensive cable TV replacement with a wide range of channels, unlimited DVR, and a user-friendly experience, which is why I've been using it for about a year. See you again soon. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching and listening.
Thanks, Bob. That's excellent information.
Yeah, and basically, it's my wife who's been watching it for about a year because I spend very little time in front of a TV.
I spend more than I should, and I have YouTube TV, and I do use it a lot.
Yeah. But Bob, you put a very good point there. If you're a new cord cutter, it's a perfect situation because it gives you the same thing as cable TV, the same menus and everything. And so it's a real easy transition, right?
That's correct.
Right. Okay. But maybe we shouldn't be cutting the cord. What's wrong with cable TV? Why should we be actually looking into this? Ray may just have an other option here. Like, why are we doing this cord cutting thing? Ray, do you have something further to add to this?
Well, let's see if I can figure this out on this TV here. I'm going to go here and share. Whoops. Sorry.
We can see it.
Yeah, but here we go. I'm using a different computer I'm having trouble with, so that's why it's a little bit off here, but let's see if we can get it going now.
All right.
Okay, it all depends on what download speeds are available where you live. My focus here and theme is going to be it all depends. So talking about download speeds, T-Mobile and Verizon offer home internet connectivity where I live, but it's not available to my physical address yet. CenturyLink is around. They provide DSL, but only up to download speeds of about 100 megabytes per second. Usenet, satellite internet is, of course, available, but they're very expensive. It's reported that less than 1% of the consumers in the county where I live have access to fiber optic service. So that really is out of the question for the time being. So while providers have optimized video streaming at relatively low speeds, it can be an issue if in the same household there are multiple people using the computers at the same time. Now we use the Optimum cable with 300 megabytes down and 20 megabytes up for our internet service, and we receive a discount for combining this with our cable TV. It depends on one's viewing preferences. In our household, we enjoy traditional TV programs that include news and current events that are local, national, and worldwide. I like the crime series like FBI, Law and Order, Chicago PD, Tracker. We like documentaries and other educational programs. And of course, as you would expect, we like a lot of the music-related shows. So living in Arizona mountains, where I'm more than 100 miles from Phoenix, that does not allow us to receive over-the-air local channels. Thus, those have to be offered by our provider. It depends, again, on one's viewing preferences. In this case, I continue to follow the local Arizona professional sports teams, Arizona Cardinals and the Phoenix Suns. As an example, one of my friends during the football season, he comes and he joins me for every Cardinals games because none of the streaming services he pays for offer NFL games or other sporting events. For us, a must-have is the ability to DVR all the shows so we can watch any program at our convenience and fast forward through the commercials and parts of the program that do not hold our interest. It depends on the cost. My basic monthly expense for TV and TiVo HD is $49. Now I do pay additional costs for the extra equipment for our other TVs, the taxes and fees. Now compare that to the monthly fees for streaming services such as Paramount Plus, Peacock, Disney Plus, Netflix, and Hulu. Do the math. It's reported that most households that stream on average pay to use multiple services. Here are the movie streaming services we do use. Living in a rural area almost mandates being a member of Amazon Prime. So that gives us the added benefit of Prime Video, which is in addition to our Netflix subscription. We subscribe with a family plan to YouTube Premium, which gives us ad-free YouTube and access to the YouTube Music Premium. I use that quite a bit. As an example, I use YouTube Music Playlist each month to play songs during the monthly meeting luncheon of the Record Collectors of Arizona Club. So there's a lot of uses for that. I've converted my collection of over 300 DVD and Blu-ray movies to MP4s on my Plex server. I can watch them anytime for free. And I'll often check out thrift stores to search for used DVDs I might want to add to this collection. And of course, we have the availability of the free Plex streaming service. It depends on your life schedule. Considering Carol's work responsibilities and all the organizations we both volunteer for, there are not that many hours left in the day to watch television just for pleasure. Today, the choice is not only what to watch on television, but which service to use. Most choices in life are not necessarily right or wrong, or even best or worst. They're just different. Which one you choose for video streaming? It all depends. The end, and thank you.
Thanks, Ray. That's very good information, and I think price really comes down to this in a lot of cases, and there are a lot cheaper ways to get the services we want, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It all depends.
It all depends, right? Okay, excellent. Now, to change that a little bit, Bill James is going to talk about IPTV. Bill, are you there? Bill, we're
Share-
having some.
Share your sound, Bill. We
Yeah,
can't
Bill,
hear.
we need to share your sound.
See, I'm not the only one.
Works, and weigh its pros and cons. So, whether you're a tech enthusiast or simply curious about the future of television, stay tuned. IPTV, or Internet Protocol Television, is a system where television services are delivered using the Internet Protocol Suite over a packet-switched network such as a LAN or the Internet, instead of being delivered through traditional terrestrial, satellite signal, and cable television formats. This means that instead of broadcasting content through traditional methods, the content is delivered over the Internet. Here are some key points about IPTV. IPTV streams video content directly over the Internet. This allows users to request to view specific videos or TV shows whenever they choose, rather than watching what is being broadcast at any particular time. IPTV often includes video on demand or VOD, which gives users the ability to watch any program from a catalog of videos at their convenience. Alongside VOD, IPTV can offer the ability to stream live television, allowing users to watch live events as they happen. IPTV often includes interactive services, such as the ability to pause live television, rewind, or fast forward through programs, which traditional TV delivery methods do not typically offer. IPTV can be accessed through various devices such as smart TVs, set-top boxes, computers, and mobile devices, and it is popular in regions where direct-to-home satellite or cable TV is expensive or difficult to install due to geographical constraints. It's also popular for providing access to international content and niche television channels. Is IPTV illegal? IPTV itself is not illegal. It's just a technology for streaming video content over the Internet. However, the legality of an IPTV service depends on whether it has the proper licensing for the content it offers. Here's a breakdown. Many legitimate IPTV services are available, such as those offered by telecommunications companies and major TV networks, which have the appropriate licensing agreements to stream movies, TV shows, and other content. Examples include services provided by cable or satellite TV companies that also offer streaming via apps or their own IPTV setups. There are also many unauthorized IPTV services that stream content without paying for the necessary licensing rights. These services often offer access to premium content at significantly lower prices, which is a sign that they might be illegal. Using these services can be risky and could result in legal consequences for subscribers. To ensure you're using a legal IPTV service, it's important to verify that the provider has proper licenses for the content they distribute. Opting for well-known and reputable providers is usually a safe choice. Is IPTV easy to install and access? IPTV is generally easy to install and access, particularly if you are using a service provided by a legitimate and well-established provider. The ease of installation can make IPTV an attractive option for many users. Here's a typical process for setting up IPTV. Choosing a provider. First, you need to choose an IPTV service provider. There are many options available, ranging from well-known telecommunications companies to specialized IPTV services. Once you've chosen a provider, you typically need to subscribe to their service. This might involve creating an account on their website and selecting a subscription plan that suits your needs. Equipment. Depending on the provider, you may need specific equipment. Some services require a set-top box that you connect to your TV. The box receives IPTV streams and displays them on your TV. Many modern smart TVs can access IPTV services directly through an app, eliminating the need for additional hardware. For example, LG TVs has IPTV apps available in their App Store. You can often access IPTV services using apps on smartphones, tablets, or even through web browsers on computers. Installation. If you are using a set-top box, you will need to connect it to your TV and to your internet connection, usually via Wi-Fi or an Ethernet cable. For apps, you simply download and install them on your device. After installation, you might need to log into the app or set-top box using your account details. Some setups may require additional configuration steps, such as entering a server address or a playlist file, depending on the provider. Accessing content. Once everything is set up, you can start browsing and viewing the content available through your IPTV service. Overall, while the setup process can vary slightly depending on the provider and the equipment used, accessing IPTV is usually straightforward and can be done with minimal technical knowledge. What are some of the more popular IPTV providers? Some popular IPTV providers vary by region, with many traditional cable and satellite TV companies offering IPTV services as part of their digital TV packages. Here are several well-known IPTV providers around the world. AT&T TV, formerly DirecTV Now, USA. This service offers a range of channels, including live TV and on-demand content, accessible via the AT&T TV app on various devices. Sling TV USA. Sling TV is one of the earliest IPTV providers, known for its flexible pricing and streaming packages which allow users to choose channels. Hulu Plus Live TV USA. Hulu started as a VOD service but now also offers live TV channels, integrating both live IPTV services and streaming in one platform. YouTube TV USA. Known for its simple flat rate and extensive channel lineup, YouTube TV offers live streaming from a variety of networks along with cloud-based DVR service. Sky Go and Now TV UK. Sky offers IPTV through its Sky Go service for existing customers and through Now TV as a standalone streaming service without the need for a satellite dish. BT TV UK, provided by BT. This service combines broadband and IPTV packages and offers access to a variety of channels and on-demand content. Bell Fibe TV Canada, a major player in the Canadian market. Bell Fibe TV offers a comprehensive IPTV service with a variety of packages and content options. Movistar Plus Spain. Movistar Plus is a prominent IPTV provider in Spain, offering a wide range of channels, including exclusive sports broadcasts. Optus TV with Fetch Australia. This service combines broadband and IPTV, offering a selection of channels and recording capabilities. These providers typically offer both live TV and on-demand content, allowing for a comprehensive viewing experience that includes sports, movies, and regular TV programming. The availability and specifics of the services may vary depending on your location and the specific package you choose. What are the pros and cons about IPTV? IPTV, like any technology, has its advantages and disadvantages. Here's a breakdown of some common pros and cons associated with IPTV. Pros. IPTV offers on-demand content and live streaming, which means you can watch your favorite shows and channels anytime, anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. Unlike traditional TV, IPTV provides interactive features, such as the ability to pause live TV, rewind, fast forward, and more. Some services also offer interactive guides and the ability to record shows. IPTV often offers a vast array of channels and services, including international content, which might not be available through traditional broadcasters in your region. Many IPTV services offer additional functionalities like VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol, or high-speed internet, bundling multiple services into one platform. Some IPTV platforms allow users to customize their viewing experience, choose their favorite channels, and pay only for selected services, which can be more cost-effective than standard cable packages. Cons. IPTV streaming quality heavily depends on your internet connection. Poor bandwidth or an unstable connection can lead to buffering, interruptions, and poor video quality. Streaming IPTV, especially at high quality or in 4K, consumes a significant amount of bandwidth, which can be an issue if there are data caps imposed by your internet service provider. While IPTV can be cheaper than traditional cable, some premium services and content packages can be expensive, especially when adding multiple channel packs or international content. As mentioned, not all IPTV services are legal. Using unauthorized services can expose users to legal risks and potential security threats, such as malware or scams. Depending on the provider and the technology used, setup can sometimes be complex, and navigating the interfaces might not be as straightforward for all users, especially those less tech-savvy. These pros and cons show that while IPTV offers a flexible and rich viewing experience, it also requires a good internet setup and a careful choice of provider to ensure a smooth and enjoyable experience. Despite these challenges, the benefits of IPTV, like its rich content variety and customization options, make it a compelling choice for the future of home entertainment. So, if you have a reliable internet connection and you pick a legitimate provider, IPTV might just change the way you experience television. This is Bill James, with Tech for Senior. Thanks for listening.
Well, thanks, Bill. That's very interesting. Another choice for us. Are you there? Get your camera back. There you go. Now we can see you. Well, that's very interesting. I wonder, do you think those channels are geolocated, though? That if you wanted the Spanish channel or something, you could get that if you lived in Canada, the United States, or are they limited to the countries?
You could probably cheat by using a VPN.
Yeah, you probably could do that too. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Very interesting. Yep. Thanks a lot. Another option for us. Now, once you do get your TV going, how can you transform your living room into a beautiful studio? And we're going to talk about, Jim, the technical guy, the guy that's the wizard there with the images on the background. He's going to tell us all about how to do that.
That should be fun.
This is my favorite thing in our house.
I think this is the best show on TV. These are our photos, our personal photos coming from Google Photos. I'm not doing anything to make this happen. These photos are coming from the cloud. Now, I did set it up, and I will show you how to do that. But first, I want to explain the difference between what this is doing and just casting. I mean, sometimes you might have something on your phone that you want to see on the big screen TV, and that is casting. So, for example, you might want a YouTube video. It's easy for me to get a YouTube video going on my phone, and then all I have to do, tap this Chrome button at the top and tell it that I want it to play on, this is our bedroom TV. And in a minute, what is on my phone will instead be playing on the TV.
Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or Android devices or the cloud?
Now that is casting. So that's from my phone to the TV. I'm going to stop that just by tapping the same little button, and it stops casting to the TV. I'm just back on my phone. Automatically, we're just back to my pictures. What do you need to make that happen? You need a Chromecast. This is a Google Chromecast. We call it a dongle. It's HDMI. So then you need a TV with an empty HDMI port. All you do is plug this into the HDMI. And then you do have power. You need to plug the power cable into the other end so that it stays powered. The Chromecast these days, today's model, includes Google TV. But for what we're talking about, all you need is the Chromecast. And it's $30 for the HD and $50, I think, for the 4K version. So now let's start at square one. You have a TV. It has an HDMI port in the back. You plug the Chromecast dongle into the HDMI port and you turn the TV on. I have already plugged one into the HDMI port in the back. When you first turn the TV on, your TV is probably going to want to be on TV. So how do you get it to be on the Chromecast? You just have to change the input settings to the proper HDMI port. So find the input settings button on your TV's remote and choose, and I know that I have it in the HDMI 3 port. Here are my pictures. Now, the first time you do this, you will have to go through some setup. The Chromecast will step you through getting connected to your household Wi-Fi. Then you need a phone connected to the same Wi-Fi and the Google Home app. So the Google Home app looks like a little house, multicolored house. And under devices, you will have needed to set up the TV. In our case, we set it up as the bedroom TV. Now, the pictures that are showing on there, that's called the ambient mode, meaning nothing else is going on. You're not watching a show, you're not streaming anything, ambient mode, and you can tell it what to play by 3 dots and ambient mode settings. Google Photos, My Photos, and you can choose an album. I love showing recent highlights. So recent highlights is something that'll just happen automatically from your recently taken pictures in Google Photos. Automatically. This is just so cool. We come in from a trip, we turn the TV on, we're seeing photos of our trip. The best TV show in town. Now, once it's all set up, you can select your albums from Google Photos. Let me show you where that is. Google Photos and your profile picture and Photos settings, apps and devices, photo frames. Google Photos calls this a photo frame. It's the bedroom TV, and it's showing recent highlights and national parks. I can deselect both of those to play something else. Fun with 2024 diving on BVI Aggressor. And in just a second, we will start seeing scuba diving vacation pictures. There we go. Now, if you do have the Google TV model of the Chromecast and Google TV, then when you first go to your proper HDMI port, instead of going straight to your photos, you're going to be going to the Google TV with all your streaming services. Now, with the remote, if you just press the back arrow, that will take you to your photos. Then, to get back to that main screen, it's the home button. Takes you back to all your streaming services. And just one other thing to know is that you can set settings here. This top ring takes you up and over, all the way over towards the right, there are settings. And the enter button is where the indentation where your thumb is. That's the enter button. And under system and ambient mode, here are the settings that you can change for your photos. Remember, ambient mode is like the screensaver, and I want Google Photos, and here is where I can set the amount of time. So I have mine currently set for 5 seconds, but you probably want it more like 30 seconds per photo. That's how long each photo stays on. And the back arrow and the home button to take you back to your Google TV. And then if you wait a little bit, it will automatically go to the screensaver in your photos, or you can just press that back arrow. So that is the Google TV. Once it's set up, you don't have to do anything unless you want to change the pictures that are shown. The best show on TV. I'm Chris Gould with Geeks on Tour.
Well done. Well
Yeah.
done. Well done. Chris, I know we'll have lots of questions in the Q&A, but you would need to show different photo albums on different TVs. You would need multiple Chromecasts. You need a Chromecast for each TV, right?
Yes.
Yes. That'd be so cool. Wouldn't that be neat going around the house and you have different albums showing on different TVs?
Oh, we do.
We do.
Yeah, I have one here on my desk. It's just a Google device. She has a couple upstairs, our big TV in the bedroom,
Yeah.
the big TV in the main living room is always, if we're not sitting there watching it, it's on. It's showing a
It's
photo
showing
card.
our photos. And one thing I didn't say, it is completely randomized.
Right.
So one photo might be from last week, and the next one is from 10 years ago. So we kind of use it as a memory test as well. Where was that
Well,
picture?
I'm sure there'll be lots of questions, but we want to get on because before we, so that wraps up all the presentations today. What a great time. This has been really interesting. Thanks to everyone so much for doing this. Now, for those of you over on YouTube, we're going to be stopping the YouTube stream now. If you want to pop over to the Q&A afterwards, you can certainly do that. We have spots in our Zoom meeting if you want to come over and enjoy and ask questions in our Q&A. But right now we're going to stop that because Ray's going to be coming on and he's going to be doing his music outro.
I'm going to stop that there. But that's usually a music one that comes up in the Zoom meeting in case you are a real audiophile. Yeah, let's see if I can, because I got other content here. Let's see here. Stop. Let's see here. Okay. Movies and TVs. This is a search value that you can put into YouTube. And it gives you some idea of some of the stuff that may be available to you in your area. How much you get depends upon things like, do you get free with ads versus purchase a subscription? And there may be some things that you have to add additional costs for, like I know Stars, AMC Plus, NFL definitely, NBA also, Paramount Plus, I know. Those are all going to add additional cost. And then you have down here some idea of top selling movies that you may have to pay a premium for. So it gives you exploring different areas, trending, shopping, music, TV and movies, live, gaming, news, sports, courses, fashion, beauty, podcast, etc., etc. So that's something to keep in mind. Another one in YouTube, free to watch. That's exactly what it's called. And this has about, right now, and I don't know how often it changes, but I think it's like 107 or 108 different ones. No, it's even higher now. 118. So this fluctuates as to how much content you can get on free to watch. Another one here, if I can get rid of that. Let's see here.
I'll count these down based on the streaming services we've used the most to watch TV shows and movies on demand, going over the pros and cons of each, along with pricing. I'll also have our picks for the best live TV cable alternatives later in this video. Starting off our countdown, coming in at number 10 is Hulu. This is the first of 2 streaming services in this video owned by Disney. In addition to their original content, which has been quite underwhelming as of late, they also have a variety of shows that were originally broadcast on the Fox Network, FX, and ABC. 2 popular original series on here include the science fiction drama The Handmaid's Tale and the comedy mystery series Only Murders in the Building. A couple shows worth checking out on Hulu that were originally broadcast on the FX network include the comedy series The Bear, and perhaps one of my favorite TV shows released this year, Shogun. If you haven't seen it yet, it's awesome. Pricing for Hulu is $8 per month with ads, and with no ads, it's $18 per month. You can also get it as part of the Disney Bundle, which includes other services. Those plans start at around $10 per month. We recently had the Disney Bundle, but unsubscribed because there's nothing new that was compelling to watch from any of their services. In at number 9, Disney Plus is from the folks at the Walt Disney Company. On here, you'll find content from Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, and National Geographic, along with their own branded content. While the new content on here lately has been more miss than hit, they do have a back catalog of content that has been well received, like The Mandalorian and Loki. Plus they have more than 30 seasons of The Simpsons, and even something for the Swifties out there. I mentioned the Disney Bundle pricing in the prior segment. To get Disney Plus on its own, with ads, its cost is $8 per month, and without ads, $14 per month. Next up, coming in at number 8, is Paramount Plus. The service offers live sports, including some NFL games, along with live news, with on-demand TV shows and movies. Many of which are from Paramount's brands, which include CBS, Comedy Central, MTV, and Nickelodeon. Many people subscribe to this service for the back catalog of Star Trek, along with new originals like Picard and Star Trek Discovery. New customers get a 7-day free trial. After the trial ends, their Paramount Plus Essential plan with limited ads is $6 per month, and their Paramount Plus bundle with Showtime is $12 per month with no ads, except for live TV events and a few shows. In at number 7 is NBC Universal's streaming service they call Peacock. They offer over 80,000 hours of content and is the streaming home for shows like Yellowstone, the various Law & Order shows, and The Office. Popular originals you'll find on here include Poker Face and the Ted series. New movies produced by NBC Universal, including Oppenheimer, stream here first after their theater run. Peacock offers 2 plans. Premium for $6 per month, I can tell you from personal experience, has a ton of commercials, and Premium Plus for $12 per month has no ads with a few exceptions. Select titles can also be watched offline, and you also get your local NBC channel. Coming in at number 6 is BritBox, which is a joint venture of the BBC and ITV. We've been watching the service a lot lately. It's primarily focused on high-quality British TV shows. Fantastic new shows we've seen on here include Blue Lights and Sherwood. You'll also find older classics on here like Sherlock and Luther. BritBox offers a 7-day free trial. After the trial ends, it's $9 per month. Next up, AMC Plus comes in at number 5. This is one of the most underrated video streaming services. In addition to content from the AMC network, you also get TV shows and films from Shudder, Sundance Now, BBC America, and IFC Films Unlimited. Some people use it to watch shows from the Walking Dead universe. Other great shows on here include Dark Winds and Gangs of London. AMC Plus is one of the more affordable streaming services. After a 7-day free trial, they have plans that start at $5 per month. Coming in at number 4 is Prime Video from Amazon, which has an impressive collection of original TV shows and movies. If you pay for an Amazon Prime membership, which is now $139 per year, Prime Video is included. Otherwise, the standalone cost is $9 per month. In a controversial move, Prime Video now has ads by default for its customers here in the US. To get rid of the ads, you now have to pay an additional $3 fee to not have them. Fan favorites on Prime Video include Reacher, there are now 4 seasons of The Boys, and Fallout, which is one of the best TV show adaptations of a video game series to ever be created. Before we get to our top 3, here's our bonus picks of on-demand streaming services that might be worth your time to check out. Crunchyroll is a popular choice for those that are fans of Japanese anime. After their 7-day free trial, their plans start at $8 per month. CuriosityStream is a great place to watch documentaries covering a wide variety of topics in both HD and 4K. Pricing is $5 per month or $40 if billed annually. And Tubi is the best overall if you're looking for an on-demand streaming service that is completely free. They have a massive number of TV shows, movies, and reality shows. When it comes to services that can replace cable with live channels, Fubo is great for sports fans wanting to cut the cable with pricing that starts at around $80 per month. For those on a budget, Sling TV is worth checking out. While its channel lineup is more limited than the others, the entry-level pricing is more affordable. After the discounted first month, plans start at $40 per month. Of the cable replacement streaming services I've used, YouTube TV is the best. A feature I love is their multi-view, which allows me to watch up to 4 live streams at a time on one screen. This comes in handy during football season and NCAA basketball's March Madness. YouTube TV's base plan, after the discounted first 3 months, is $73 per month. Now for our top 3, and coming in at number 3 is Apple TV Plus. While it may not have the biggest catalog of content, what they do have is of high quality with many in 4K resolution. Popular shows on here include Severance, Masters of the Air, Ted Lasso, Sugar, Foundation, Silo, and The Morning Show. When you buy an eligible Apple device, it's free for the first 3 months. If not, they do give you a free 7-day trial, after which it's $10 per month. In the runner-up spot, coming in at number 2 is Max, formerly known as HBO Max. It has an amazing amount of TV shows and films, both new and old. In addition to its originals, it has content from HBO with shows that include Succession, The Last of Us, and the latest Game of Thrones series. Also included are shows that appear on the Discovery Networks, HGTV, Food Network, and the Discovery Channel. Max has plans that start at $10 per month. To get rid of the ads, it's $16 per month, and unfortunately, if you want 4K video streams, that will set you back $20 per month. In the top spot, the best streaming service overall is Netflix. Why do we think it's number 1? Of all the services that we've been subscribed to, we find that we never run out of stuff to watch because they're always adding new TV shows, films, and documentaries of interest to us. Popular shows on the service include Breaking Bad, Wednesday, Peaky Blinders, Warrior, which used to be on Max, Better Call Saul, both of the Narcos series, and a new show called Griselda, which was a lot better than expected. The base plan for Netflix with ads is $7 per month. Without ads, the lowest price plan is $15.49 per month, and their highest priced plan, which offers 4K resolution and spatial audio for many of its new shows, is now a whopping $23 per month. Thanks for watching. If this video was useful for you, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. What streaming services do you use to watch TV shows?
Okay, on that one.
Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you my top 5 favorite applications that give you free movies, TV shows, sports, live TV, pay-per-view, and much more. That's right. I'm going to walk you through step by step everything it is that you're going to need to know so that you too can enjoy all of your favorite entertainment absolutely free. All right, guys. Well, if you're ready to learn, let's begin. All right, so you're ready to learn how to get my top 5 favorite applications when it comes to giving you free movies, TV shows, sports, live TV, pay-per-view, and much more. In order to get all of this started, the first thing that we need to do is download one application from the Amazon App Store. The easiest way to do that is simply push left on your remote until you're on that magnifying glass. Push down one time, you'll be on the search bar, and when you click your center button, it'll bring up a keypad allowing you to type out whichever application it is that you're looking for. Today, we're looking for an application called Downloader. I'll throw it on the screen as I begin to spell it. Now guys, I've only entered the very first letter. It's already appeared on the screen. There's no need to type out all of it. All you need to do is slide down, highlight right there where it says Downloader, and click your center button. It's going to take you right here to this bright orange app. Let's go ahead and click our center button. Now it's going to give us the option to install this on our device. All you have to do again is click the center button. The download process begins. Then once the download is finished, it's going to go through the installation. And then once that is finished, it will say open. But guys, we don't want to open this app just yet. We're just waiting until it says open. Give it just a second, and you'll see as it pops up here on my screen. Just like that. Once you see that, go ahead and click your home button on your remote. The next thing that we need to do is go into our settings and change just one setting. And the easiest way to do that is simply slide all the way to the right till you're in the settings. And this little menu appears on the bottom half of your screen. We're going to slide down and we're going to click on My Fire TV. Now right here, you'll notice I have developer options on my screen. If for any reason your screen does not have developer options, all you need to do is simply slide up, click right here where it says About. Then it's going to highlight whichever device that you have. I have the Fire TV Stick 4K. Once highlighted right there, click the center button on your remote 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you'll get a little pop-up on the bottom that says that you are a developer or no need because you are already a developer. So now that you've done that, click the back button on the remote. And now you should have developer options here on this screen. What we want to do is slide down and click on developer options and slide down and click where it says install unknown apps. And as you can see, Downloader is currently turned off. We just want to click our center button and turn it on, just like that. All right, now we just click our home button on our remote. The next thing that we need to do is go and find the Downloader application that we just installed on our device. And the easiest way to find any of your applications is simply slide over into that icon right there and click your center button. It's going to take you to every app that you have ever installed on your device. Slide down because the last app always goes to the very bottom. And as you can see right here is the bright orange Downloader app we just installed. Let's go ahead and open that up. You'll get a little pop-up. Just click your center button and that'll go away. And guys, welcome to the Downloader app. This app allows you to go along the internet to almost any website it is that you would like to visit. All you need to do is push up on your remote one time and click your center button. And again, it's going to bring up a keypad allowing you to type out whatever web address it is that you would like to go to. Today, we're going to one site in particular, and I'll go ahead and throw that on the screen as I enter it. All right, so please check your spelling. Make sure everything is correct. Once it is, we're going to go ahead and click right there where it says Go. Now, when this screen appears, you'll see this little red circle. And if I push up and down and left and right on the remote, you'll see I can move that cursor. What we want to do is move that cursor down a little bit, and we're looking for that block right there that says Download APK Android. Just put that little red cursor on that block anywhere and click your center button. The download process begins automatically. As soon as the download is finished, it's going to ask for you to install. Simply slide over, click the word install. Give your system just a few seconds, and then what we want to do is we want to make sure we click done. When we click done, it brings us right back here. And this right here is just the installation file. We no longer need this right here taking up room on our device. So we're going to slide over and click delete. We're going to slide over and click delete. And guys, that's it. All right, let's go ahead and click our home button one more time. All right, so really quickly, before we go and open that app, there's one more setting that we need to change.
Now, due to time, I'm going to stop this one here and you guys will get the handout and you can look at that further.
Now imagine an application that brought all of your favorite content from Disney Plus, from Amazon Freevee, from Tubi TV, from Netflix, all of that content brought together into a single application, allowing you to find the best movies and TV shows that you can enjoy on your Fire Stick, Fire TV, or Android TV devices. Now, this application is absolutely free. It doesn't require any kind of registration. You don't need to use any kind of VPN. It doesn't have any adverts. And with this latest version, they've now added in so many more repositories, 350 content libraries, allowing you to find the best movies and TV shows out there. All you need to do is just hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So with all of that being said, let's...
Okay, I'm going to stop that one there just to give you an idea of what that's on. Now, this is IPTV.
Today I'm going to attempt to tackle the topic of paid and free legal IPTV, legal we'll put in quotations, versus paid and free third-party IPTV. We're going to be breaking a few things down. Of course, we're going to start with what is IPTV. I'm going to explain what the legal side of it is and also what the third-party side means. We're going to briefly talk about the legality of third-party streaming, and then I'm going to give some of my hot takes and opinions at the end of the video. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button right down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. And like always, for the first hour to 2 hours of this video, I will try to answer all of your questions down below. So drop them, whether it's a comment about the video, a personal question, or maybe something about one of your devices. I do my best to get back to all of you. Honestly, the easiest question to answer out of this whole video is what is IPTV? And I want to be clear, IPTV in no way is illegal as it stands, because IPTV is just the transfer of television content or content in general over internet protocol online. So now this does come in various different forms, and that's really what we're going to break down as we go forward in the video. And I want to start with the completely legal stuff. Let's start with the stuff that we know is good, you can buy, you can use with no worries at all. And then after that, we are going to get into the third-party stuff, which most of you really want to know about.
Okay, so I want to start by breaking down the paid legal IPTV. This is the stuff that everybody pretty much has a general idea of what it is. And I'm going to go over a few examples here. Now, these were originally created as cable alternatives, of course, but as time has gone by, they've kind of turned into the cable company themselves. Probably more for less content, in my opinion, because of all the packages they've now separated everything by. So some of the major examples are pretty straightforward. Sling TV is an extremely popular one in the United States. A lot of these are marketed towards what sports they offer. So for Sling, you can see here, like they say right away, hey, we got the NFL. If you want to watch NFL, you come to Sling TV. They have their different packages. So let's go over some pricing examples. Their blue package, this is only for the first month, is usually $40 a month you're paying for around 32 channels or around 40 channels. So you're paying pretty much the price of 3 subscription video on demand services such as Netflix, Prime Video, etc. And this doesn't change as we go over to our next service, that is Hulu Live TV. Now, Hulu Live TV has recently got a bump. They just talked about this. This will be going up in price from $69.99 up to it's like $85 or something. And that's because they have removed ads as well. So that can be seen as a negative, but yeah, Hulu's around $90. Now you do get a lot of...
Okay, I'm going to stop that one. I'm just trying to get at least some of this in.
Now, earlier this week, I received this email from the owner of IPTV Wire. Now, in the email, he states he wrote an article on scam IPTV sites, and I wanted to break down the information that he has in his article, some of the inconsistencies, and also some of the things I think he got right in the article. Now, IPTV is a word that is typically associated with some sort of illegal service. However, IPTV in general has existed for years in multiple different legal versions. So we can see some basic examples such as Hulu Live, Prime Video has live channels, even YouTube TV offers live channels. And all those are IPTV because it's Internet Protocol Television, so it's run over the internet. Now it can be pretty intimidating to decide and choose what to buy on the market, so I think going over some of these articles where we talk about scams and we talk about what to be aware of, and you really understand what's going on behind the scenes so that you can make an informed decision for yourself. Now if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button right down below.
I'm gonna interrupt that. I only got one thing left.
Hey everyone, it's Tyler, the Antenna Man. Today I'm going to talk about illegal IPTV services and how to tell the difference between them and a reputable streaming service like YouTube TV and Sling TV. I'll get right to the point to inform those of you who want to make sure that your streaming service is legal. There's a huge difference between reputable streaming services like YouTube TV and illegal IPTV services like, I'm not going to mention specific names. Illegal IPTV services don't have agreements to rebroadcast the channels on their service. They are basically the live TV version of illegal music download services like LimeWire. Using one can get you disconnected from your internet service provider or even sued for engaging in piracy. Here are a few ways you can spot an illegal IPTV service. The first way to tell is pretty easy if it says IPTV right on the website. While reputable streaming services are technically Internet Protocol Television, they typically don't use the term IPTV on their website. Illegal IPTV services either don't show all the channels they offer, and if they do, it's all text instead of logos. Just look at the difference between the channel listing on this illegal IPTV service and one from a reputable streaming service. Here's another example. This illegal IPTV service offers thousands of channels but only lists a few of them on their website. Illegal IPTV services usually make you jump through hoops to install their app on a Fire Stick, such as sideloading an installation file on the Kodi app. If the streaming service is not in the App Store, there's a good chance it's illegal. Another way to spot an illegal IPTV service is the price of the service. With the exception of a few live streaming services like Friendly TV and Philo TV, most reputable live TV streaming services cost about $40 or more a month. On the other hand, an illegal IPTV service will offer thousands of channels for an unheard of $10 or $20 a month. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You won't find a streaming service with local channels like ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox for less than $65 a month. That's why it's a good idea to get your local channels for free with an antenna instead of paying for them with a streaming service. There's no reason to pay for things that are free, yet the majority of Americans do. An additional red flag is if the website suggests you use a VPN with their service. Unless you're spoofing your location to access geo-restricted content, you should not have to use a VPN with a reputable streaming service unless you have something to hide. Some of you are probably saying, oh, IPTV is not illegal at all. It's just screen sharing. It's perfectly legal. Stop it. It's illegal and you know it. I get that there's a major problem with greedy media companies constantly jacking up the price we all pay for their TV channels. Illegal IPTV services are not the solution. Banks are greedy too, but robbing or defrauding one is not the solution. The best way to get back at greedy media companies is to set up a decent antenna to get all of your local channels, then supplement the rest with a cheaper streaming service that doesn't require you to pay for local channels, like Friendly TV, Philo TV, and Sling TV. If you're new to the concept of an antenna, it's not like the analog days. A good setup can...
Okay, stop sharing. sharing on that. So what did you guys think?
Tim, in a recent meeting, we had somebody who was hawking an illegal IPTV service. I hope that content has been edited out.
You're talking about Apollo?
Yes, it's
Yes,
illegal.
I'm aware of it, but it's in there. I'm pretty positive. My
The
video did
concern I
get.
have is our organization could get sued over that.
I like I say, I don't recommend it. I looked at it myself, Ned, and I thought kind of hinky to begin with, without getting into deep details.
Yeah. The other thing that was in one of the videos, they did something called side loading onto a Fire Stick. That's very dangerous to do from a security point of view. But Kodi makes you do it too.
Yes.
And Kodi has legal and illegal uses. And so does this thing.
Okay, I'm going to. Oops, come on.
And I do think in that video, the fellow made a good point about best way to get back at people overpricing things is not to steal the content.
Well, you've got the download as far as that goes, so you can download those in your chat. Generally speaking, I do streaming services, but all mine are illegal. And I have heard of some people doing the illegal stuff that they get nailed after a while. Doesn't take real long, and it's going to get even harder to get away with illegal content. But they're mostly after the service first, and then they go after the subscribers. So you got to figure out what you can accept and what you can't accept. And if you don't like legal trouble, I suggest keeping it above board. Okay, one thing. Oops. I'm going to stop recording.
Recording stopped.
Hang loose.